What is the perfect Christmas gift for your friends and family? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Coming to you live every day, today from Grants Pass, Oregon, here at the headquarters. Brian J. You heard the ding. That means I forgot to turn my phone off. So forgot to silence it before I came on the air. Rather forgetful, if you haven't noticed yet, yesterday I forgot to plug my microphone all the way in, so you couldn't hear me all that well. So hopefully you got to hear the message, though. Today's message has to do with a Christmas gift for you and your loved ones. And it's not something that you can easily wrap up in most cases. It's not something that is all that easily delivered or even necessarily even wanted by the other party. That's right, it's a trick question in a sense, because it's one of those things that it really is the gift that keeps on giving. And I'll talk a little bit about that. And it's business ownership. It's entrepreneurship. It's doing your own thing and having something that you can work on either part-time or full-time, but being able to put as much time as you want into it and being able to have it be yours, that you own it, that you run it, and that it means something. It's deeper. There's a lot of opportunities out there that we're all familiar with, and many of us came into owning our own business through different opportunities, maybe direct sales or network marketing or any of the other kind of little niche projects out there that people get involved in, and they may not even make money at them. Their introduction, a lot of people call it the introductory drug into the world of entrepreneurship, and it's a start. It's somewhere to start. It's something that you can start with, you can take your time with, and start figuring out what business ownership is all about. And if you're a business owner, let me ask you something. What would have happened if you did not ever have a chance to own your own business? Now, you could ask any business owner, and they all have a different backstory. Some of them have always had their own business since they were a little kid. Some of them have worked almost their entire lives as employees and just recently started their own business and are still trying to find their way around it. Other people somewhere in between, they stumbled into owning a business. It wasn't even something that they meant to do. They ended up buying it from or ended up inheriting it or something of that sort. But it's life-changing. Owning a business is life-changing. It changes your perspective on things. It changes everything. On my podcast, the Off the Grid Biz podcast, which you could find at offthegridbiz.com, we interview different business owners. Most of them are business owners. So some of them just have they're doing something in the self-reliance field that relates back to business. But many of them are business owners, and they all have a completely different perspective. But one thing that is, unless they're on their way out, most of them are very thankful for the ability to have owned a business and being able to see things from that perspective and be able to have that type of responsibility, either thrust upon them or that they came across it, or some of them feel like they couldn't ever be employed again. And if you're anything like me, it was life-changing. Owning your own business is a life-changing event, and it's one of those things where it's very difficult to ever imagine yourself going back into full employment in the same way that you may have been at one time. And we could talk about all the different things, all the different advantages to owning your own business. But I think everyone should own their own business at some point. I don't think everyone's an entrepreneur. I don't think everyone's a serial business owner or someone that's going to take it extremely seriously or necessarily even make a living at it. But I think everyone should have a chance to own a business at some point and be able to experience that. I think it builds empathy for others, and it allows you to really see how difficult it is to be able to do it and how there is a certain amount of luck associated with it, but it does take a lot of thought, a lot of hard work, and a lot of persistence and grit. And if you're a business owner, you should feel proud about that, but also see what you can do about introducing your friends and family into the same world. They're not all going to be great at it. They're not all going to want to do it. But how would you go about doing that? How do you introduce it to someone? Here's how I do it. I talk to people and I find out what they're into, and I find out what's going on. It's perfect time of year for those type of conversations. How have you been doing? How's it going? What are you doing with your time? How do you like that job? You enjoy it? You like doing that? You see yourself doing that long term? You know, are you where do you see yourself in the long run? If you're not going to be there, where do you see yourself? You know, if you could be doing anything right now, what would you be doing? And if the conversation ever comes back to me, I say, you know, I help people to start their own businesses, and I help successful businesses to. And you know, if you were to own any type of business, what would it be? What would you do? Could you ever see yourself owning a business? I throw these stuff out there, and I kind of have a back and forth with people because I like to see their perspective. And I really like to see if there's, every once in a while, someone has a desire and they have a point in their life where they're just looking for something different. And I do my best to encourage them. At whatever they're looking at doing, encourage them. If they want to have a site up on Etsy and sell their homemade crafts, I encourage them. And you should too. Just do your best to do that, because I think the more people that have that independent spirit, the more people become more self-reliant, which is what I really love. I love seeing people to become more self-reliant, because the more self-reliant they are, the more we can help people who can't be or won't be, you know, in some cases. So if you happen to own it, and it ties into a lot of my business model, because a lot of the people I end up helping, business owners that are already relatively successful, the ones that I can help out the most, I really found a really cool area that I work in, self-reliance field, meaning businesses that help people to become more self-reliant in some way or fashion. Maybe they teach people how to do a skill, or they teach something, a way of building a business, or they teach you how to basically survive in a situation. All these different things are all within the self-reliance field. And so if you're a business owner or an executive in the self-reliance field, and you'd love to have a conversation with me, because I know I'd like to have a conversation with you, then I'd love to talk with you and find out more about you. Go to dreambizchat.com. I used to pull this thing out every day, but every once in a while I was moving, it would get lost in the shuffle. Well, I found it again. Dreambizchat.com, my little cue card. Go there and watch the video. You can also find the link in the description. You can click right on it. It takes you right over to it. I'd love to find out what you think, whether you're interested in talking to me or not. Definitely drop me a line, because it takes you straight to brianjpombo.com, but a very specific page that dreambizchat.com takes you to, something we call the Dream Business Transformation. So go check that out. And if you, let's say you don't own a business, but you're looking to own a business, I recommend that you go to brianjpombo.com. On the front page, there's 3 little boxes up there. At least currently there's 3 little boxes. By the time you see this video, there may be more, but you'll see this one that says, I want to start my business. Click on that, fill it out, and I will get back to you. And because I do help people to start their own businesses. It's a completely different format from what I use to help people that already have a business to move forward with, but it's definitely something that I encourage everybody to do, and I encourage you to encourage others to do it too. So hopefully that's helpful. Nice little Christmas message. We got some more Christmas messages coming up. We do this every day, so come on back tomorrow. You could also check out our old videos and audios over on brianjpombo.com. So you have a great night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.